You're listening to Wake Up with Christopher DeSimone on the Live the Dream Media Network, Southern Arizona's premier live talk and online radio.
Or I don't think it was in the control booth. I think it was pilot error, mistake.
So we're going to, so Joe, you're a charter school guy here.
Yeah, I'm an education policy wonk. I'm in the middle of it. That's my business. Yeah, sure.
And part of this was, that you wanted to, you knew everyone's got to take their role, and if everyone starts working on making America great again, we all get better, right? And yours was trying to make America better through education.
Right. So after doing this show with you so many times and so many years, I came up with patterns and policies and things that are happening, which we covered in the earlier part of the show with David Schweikert.
Yeah.
And it painted a pretty bleak picture. And I don't think the solution is going to come from Washington, D.C., or who we elect for president or Congress or Senate. It's going to happen in local communities, your fire department, your school district, your Rotaries, the local community college, or your small business commissions and things. So I've really dedicated my life to faith, family, and schools. And I have done interviews on this, and we've talked about.
I even did a podcast last year called "Faith, Family, and Schools" based on that.
So Tocqueville came out to America in the 1830s, and he looked around, and they're cutting heads off in France, and he's trying to figure out why is this thing working.
Right.
And what he came back with and wrote a book on called "Democracy in America," it was that our institutions are strong, and we go and raise each other's barns, and if you have a problem, we're a community of
That's
people.
Dead Talk Tocqueville. That is a French guy to USD grads, not Tocqueville, a new marijuana shop. Just want to let you know that.
Cool. So that led me to schools. And again, I was blessed beyond belief. We opened up Lehman Academy, and I was a CEO for a number of years, and that just rocked and rolled. They're now in 2 states and doing great. And I built a curriculum. And I've been going around the country in red states, North Carolina and Texas and Florida, trying to open up schools. The political headwinds have gotten just insane in the last 5 years. And the charter movement has really slowed because of that. But then you have states like Arizona taking the lead that passed the voucher law, which allows kind of the money to follow the child. And they can go to a private school, charter school, homeschool, or public, and that money goes with them. So I think there's 14 states, the last I've looked, that have some form of a voucher, and Wyoming is looking to be number 15. So it's one of my edicts of what I've learned working with you in the show. There's 5 or 6 key things I've picked up with. And one of them is if you're going to reform a bureaucracy, if you're going to make Department of Motor Vehicle better or any kind of bureaucracy, you have to inject competition or you have to starve it of money. So we're watching what Trump's talking about doing with Doge and starving of money, but the school choice movement is injecting competition. And to the good in our local market, we saw Marana react to the new entrance of our charter schools, right? They closed some old schools, they opened up new ones, they tried to address the market. Lumbering districts like TUSD struggle a little more, and they're losing and they're hemorrhaging students. So that's been my focus. And interestingly, in the last week, we just got our national report card for 2024. Just got released yesterday.
Now, before you do that, because we've got a couple minutes to break, I want you to do it after the break. Okay. So Trump just signed executive orders on education, right? So guidance on supporting K12 educational choice. Within 60 days, the Secretary of Education, who I think is the wrestling lady.
Yeah, right. Apropos.
Shall issue guidance regarding how states can use federal formula funds to support K-12 educational choice initiatives.
So for a long time, Obama was a big pro-school choice person.
Yeah,
they moved block grants down to the states to give to new charter entrants. So you'd get $300,000 up front, or $1 million over 3 years to help you open and buy the school and get rolling.
Helps with financing.
That rolled back under Biden. You're going to be shocked. So and I think he's bringing that back. And then he's doing stuff with military families and one other group.
So the other one says, shall include educational freedom as a priority and discretionary grant programs.
That's the block grant to the state.
Yep. And within 90 days of this order, Secretary of Labor, Secretary of Education shall review respective discretionary grant programs, submit that to the president, and then what was the other one real quick?
Military families get the ability to kind of go where they want to go, private, charter.
Yep.
It's kind of a voucher across the board for military families.
Incidentally,
the fastest growing segment of education right now is homeschools. It's outpaced the size of charters. So there's a lot of families after COVID that have said enough is enough and I'm going to go do it on my own.
He also signed, reestablished the 1776 Commission to promote patriotic education.
Yikes. That was in response to the 1619 program that came out. And on that was Larry Arndt from Hillsdale and Victor Davis Hanson. And it was a lightning rod. It was a lightning rod. But it's civics. I mean, it's what most of us grew up learning, like branches of government and checks and balances. And it was civics. It was civics. So the
U.S. Department of Education, in relation to understanding the assignment, this is their post on it: empower parents and students through school choice, put the end of radical indoctrination in K12 schools, combat anti-Semitism on college campuses, and, of course, make education great again.
Yeah.
Or mega,
right,
as we like to say.
Right.
So, the anti-Semitism on campuses, it showed the radicalization, right, of campuses and ignorance that you see that's going on
Well,
campuses.
I love it. He's using the visa program, and he's going to say, look, it's a privilege to be here, to go to school and to be part of our system for a period of time or forever.
Right.
So if you abuse that privilege, then we're going to let you go back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some people are like, well, how can he do this with like colleges in relation to any of the gender crap or DEI stuff? Well, just hold the money.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Right.
Would you like your federal funds? Right. How much money does the University of Arizona make through federal contracts? I mean, that's why Rockin' Robbins is renting the $1 zillion offices that are across the street from the Capitol.
Right.
Because they're making so much fat federal money for study.
Right. And it happens through
for research.
Their credentialing agencies, right? So there's a group that overlooks the Higher Learning Commission. Went through a kind of a mess with them at one point.
So
and they hold that.
Tease what we're doing the next segment here.
We're going to talk about recently released report card on the nation's children, how they're doing, how we're doing on things like reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Oh, no. Is it going to be another fetal position?
Well, it ain't good. It's going the wrong direction. It should be up to the right. It's down to the left.
All right, Chris in the fetal position on video when we come back on Wake Up with Chris DeSimone on the Live the Dream Media Network.